The late 80s were a golden time for children's cartoons. We had the Centurions, the Visionaries, GoBots, and of course the three cartoons that are subjects of today's reviews. So in this episode, we're going to be taking a look at 8-bit versions of the game inspired by Thundercats, He-Man, and MASK. Now the 8-bit era was very hit and miss with licensed games. Some of them were brilliant. Games like Batman the Movie and Ghostbusters were instant classics. Others, like Short Circuit and Red Heat, well, leave a lot to be desired. And I wonder which group the three games we're going to be looking at today are going to fall into. So let's get stuck in. The first game up today is MASK, that was released in 1987 on the Commodore 64. As with all three of the games, I'm going to be paying close attention to the music, as they've all got iconic theme tunes. The music in this game is instantly recognisable as a MASK theme tune, and what a classic theme it is. Here, have a listen. Upon loading the game, you get a nice little title screen and then a second screen explaining the keys and the joystick control options. Notice a nice little advert at the bottom of the screen. All going well so far, so let's get into the game. Right, okay. At this point I would usually explain what you're meant to do within the game. However, I couldn't work it out. I mean, I tried, I honestly did. I even managed to get to the third level, but I still have no idea how I did it. The main tracker sprite looks like a gingerbread man, and the controls are about just as easy as to control as a ginger man on ice. It's so hard to get your character to go in a straight line, never mind to complete whatever mission you're supposed to complete. The game doesn't give you any kind of introduction or any kind of sense of what you're supposed to be doing. And that being the case, I really can't recommend this game to be played. There was 2 other sequels to this MASK game, which I'm sure ironed out any difficulties and made a better attempt at it, which we will cover at a later date, but I just can't recommend this game at all. It's a damn shame as well, because as a kid I loved the MASK games and I wanted to enjoy this, however it wasn't to be. So that's one poor licensed game out the way, on to the next. The second game in today's trilogy is Thundercats, The Lost Eye of Thundera, on the CPC. This was released in October, and as Lion-O, it is your job to get it back. You use the Sword of Omens to slash your way through the 14 levels. Occasionally you do get a blaster to use, and you even get to use vehicles. The graphics are well put together, with the animations of your hero and the baddies all well done. Each level is unique, and you get level selects to choose your path to the ultimate goal. The levels get progressively harder, and the object is to get to the end before your time runs out. If not, Mumra will unleash more enemies for you to deal with. There's no end of level baddies as such, but all the way through the game what you're doing is rescuing the Thundercats that have also gone missing as well. I found myself really enjoying this game. It's easy to pick up and play, the characters are instantly recognisable, and it's a fun little game. The only downside is the musical isn't from the cartoon, which is a shame, but everything else is a faithful representation of the source material. Thumbs up, that's 1 all. So that's one good game and one bad game so far. Now we're moving on to He-Man, the Ilios Stone, on the Commodore 64. Again released in 1987. First thing to note is the theme tune is here. Phew, that's one thing. My first impression is the game is slow. He-Man moves very slowly. The levels scroll well enough, but Adam just can't keep up with it. You do have your trusty sword to slash your way through the game, as well as a projectile if you collect enough power-ups. You get all the scenes that you expect in a He-Man game, and you soon find yourself moving through Castle Grayskull to battle the enemies that appear to get you. There are a few issues with the game that curbed my enjoyment of it. First of all, the controls. You press up to jump, but you also press up to move up the screen on some levels as well as jump. I mean, it does take some trial and error to get used to. I just can't get over how slow He-Man moves. The sprites are familiar and you can tell each character on the screen, but he could have done with moving a bit quicker. I also found myself just falling through the screen for no reason at all, so there was obviously a few glitches on the game upon release. I'll freely admit I wasn't the biggest He-Man fan back in the day, but I can appreciate that the fan base is still there. But try as I might, the issues with the game outweigh the plus points. Not as much in the MASK game mind you, but still, I don't think it's a game I'll be revisiting. So there we go, 1 good and 2 average at best games. This was pretty much the ratio for licensed games released around this time. I have read many reviews that love the He-Man game, so don't let that put you off trying it, it just wasn't for me. Thundercats wins this battle of the cartoon licenses, I bet now Lion-O's going to go and have fun with his Thundercat hose. I love that joke. So that's all from me on today's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Noob Game Reviews.